So give me reason to prove me wrong, to wash this memory clean. Let the thoughts cross the distance in your eyes. Give me reason to fill this hole, connect the space between. Let it be enough to reach the truth that lies across this new divide. Across this new divide. Across this new divide.
Hello everyone. So, due to the fact that I got like, I don't know, 1600 messages from my two friends with not slightly ambiguous content, so I finally decided to take a look at this show called Arcane League of Legends. Oh boy, I have so many things to say about this show, because it was a show I really wanted to watch for a long time, and thanks to my two friends, I finally watched season 1. And it's hard to put into words how I feel after watching it, but I'll try to put it to words, but it wouldn't be fair if I would start to talk about this series alone. So I invited these two friends once again, and you guys know them. It's Mr. DC Gaming and Batarang TV. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel once again. How are you doing today?
Hello.
Yeah. Hello, we're good.
Hello.
It's glad to be back and to do this.
Yeah. So like I said, we're doing a video about Arcane League of Legends, which was the show that you guys really wanted me to watch for a long time. So, and I finally started to watching it, and this video is only about season 1, but all of you watching it, if you still haven't seen this show, though you really should, it's gonna have spoilers for all of the season 1 of Arcane League of Legends. So if you haven't seen this show, just be warned here. And like I said, we're gonna have season 1, season 2 is gonna be...
Let's watch it right now.
Yeah, season 2 is gonna be like a
Yeah.
separate
Yeah.
video or something like that. So, but anyway, let's do this. So, like, maybe a little backstory about this, because I think if someone didn't watch the show, you think, well, even is Arcane. Well, Arcane League of Legends is animated show produced for Netflix, and it's animation based on popular multiplayer online game called League of Legends, which I heard some things about, but I never actually played them, because multiplayer online games, stuff like that, or MMO type games are not my thing. And actually, I was aware of it. Like, League of Legends was from 2009. Ever since that game came out, was popular, and I've seen a lot of tournaments for it. I've seen a lot of people playing it, stuff like that. But I actually never played it until 2021, where the anime adaptation called Arcane came out, and everyone lost their minds over it. Like, this was so popular when it came out in 2021. I haven't watched it then, because I was too busy watching Squid Game and Spider-Man No Way Home, but I had this in the back of my mind, and now with these two fantastic people that I'm doing a video with, encouraged me to finally give it a watch, and I finally did. But yeah, but that's my backstory. Like, maybe first question to you guys: when did you heard of Arcane, and when have you watched this show? Like, that's my big question here.
I'll go first. I first heard of Arcane because my uncle had watched it first. Like, he texted me telling me to watch it because he said, you really need to watch Arcane, because what he said was, like, you'll love it. The action scenes are badass. And the sentence he said that caught my attention was, one of the characters are basically Harley Quinn. So that piqued my interest, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to check this out to see what that means. So yeah, you can tell what I'm pretty sure if you've seen Arcane, you know who we're talking about. We'll get into that in a minute.
Yep.
Yeah. It wasn't as like good as that for me. Like, because I saw it on like online on YouTube and stuff. I don't know, probably like a random video got recommended or something. And then I started watching clips of it and started watching people talk about it, and then all that stuff. But then, like, by the time I watched all that, I already knew the story of season one. So, like, I didn't actually technically watch it fully until like a month before season two came out. But yeah, it was just all online for me, and I don't remember exactly how it started. But yeah, that was it was just I started watching videos on it. It became part of the fandom, and then got excited for season two.
Yeah, and for me it was like, and with me it was like I already said, I really heard of the show in 2021 when it firstly came out and took the world by storm, and I don't know why I haven't watched it before. Like I said, aside that I'd be occupied with watching Squid Game and Spider-Man No Way Home at that time. But aside from that, I don't know why I forgot about it. Just kind of forgot about it, and I had other shows to watch. But like it keep on back on my mind, and sometimes like videos popped up in recommendations with certain characters or some certain songs or edits I've seen. So that's like. Funny enough, I also seen some ASMR videos with characters. Yeah, I know that's kind of weird to admit, but yeah, actually ASMR videos actually also piqued my interest with Arcane. I'm gonna be honest with it. I don't know if it's called if it's weird to say that ASMR videos get you something, but honestly, like it's kind of interesting how it. And then I like already said, YouTube really it really gave me a lot of messages that I should watch the show and that it's really good, stuff like that. So I said, hey, screw it, I'm gonna watch it. I had to first like finish marathon with Star Wars Rebels and Ahsoka, but after that I jumped to Arcane fully, and yeah, here we are today because, like I said, like this video is only about season one because I so far only watched season one. So this is basically what people watched back then in 2021. I think it was in November when the first season came out. So yeah, but maybe we should quickly set the scene what this show is about. Like maybe you two are gonna say what this show is about in terms of story and who we're following in this series.
Okay, so Arcane follows the story of two Zonite sisters, Vi and Jinx slash Powder, set in the League of Legends universe. I only know of like Piltover and Zon, so I'm sure there's like other cities in this universe, although I don't
Yeah,
know
there's
nothing about
like
them. So
they actually
um
took a very small part of the League of Legends characters and stuff and put them into our game, which just shows how they did. But yeah, carry on.
Yeah.
basically over and Zon are very hostile with each other. Like they're two completely different like that are like at each other's throats. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it really.
Yeah, it's
You know, it's like Piltover is this rich. Piltover is like the rich, wealthy type city, whereas Zon is like the slum, like the, you know,
yeah, it's like rich and poor contrast.
yep, the rich and
Like
poor contrast.
yeah, but like there's the rich who got have everything, don't have to worry a day in their life, and look down upon the poor who have to fight to survive, always barely eating stuff like that. So yeah, it's good, and yeah, like Stacey was saying, it's about two sisters. Oh, sorry, I've just realised I've taken over your thing. Sorry about that. Yeah, it's about two sisters who are part of Zorn, the poorer class, and yeah, it's about their story, how they get torn apart, how they come back together, and all that stuff. And of course, yeah, it's an amazing story. It's very emotional at some parts, but yeah, it's a thrill to watch it unfold, and the world they created is amazing. Like the amount of times I would want to visit that place is amazing. Like yeah, it's just like I always say in fiction. Of course, that's the point. But in fiction, there's so many places you want to visit that don't actually exist. But yeah, it's yeah, they've managed to take a small a relatively small part of League of Legends lore, like a few characters, place and stuff. I managed to turn it into this full thing, and to say what source material they were getting it from, they managed to improve it 10 times over. And yeah, it's amazing.
Yep, I agree with that. Like we've talking about the world. Like I have that to say. Like already spoiling the title of this video. We're gonna be spoiling anyway. But really, I got vibes about Batman with all this world and stuff like that. And it's kind of insane that like it's like I know nothing about League of Legends. I kind of was aware that this is a small part of that big universe that they made in that game. But it's kind of interesting that it stands on its own and you can like actually see it like its own thing and stuff like that. And like I think usually in this, and speaking of like talking about the show overall, like usually I ask questions about this, but in this case I'm throwing the script because I'm the newcomer here. I'm the person who just got into Arcane, while these two people here are like really immersed in Arcane at this point. Like I'm already also am, but not like them, so they gonna ask me questions about the external aspects of the show, what I liked or what I dislike, stuff like that. So what you guys want me to know how about League of Legends? Of course, I'm gonna add my 2 cents at the end, but now what questions do you have for me in terms of this show? Because I could talk for Arcane for hours from now, and this season 1 for now. So what questions do you have for me?
Okay, so I actually have a question. So, which scene, name like a few scenes or parts in the show that either gave you chills, frightened you, or were just very hard to watch?
Oh boy, like there's a lot of scenes. Like this show, like I honestly think this show is like, again, my comparison to Batman is because this show is kind of like Batman's story, because while it is exciting, it has a lot of like big moments of hope and camaraderie and like friendship with certain people. It's also shown that how this world is very harsh, very unforgiving, and characters who are not strong enough suffer for it. Like the biggest example, I think, what really made me like shook to my core was, of course, scene when young Jinx kind of loses it when she's left alone, when Vi goes to rescue Vander, their adoptive father, kinda, and then when Jinx Powder causes that explosion with that unstable material, and she accidentally kills the two of their friends, and the Vi gets so angry at her, and they have a fallout, and the moment when Powder like screams for Vi to return, and she's just completely she's completely destroyed, and it's like, Jesus, like even Batman, like in Batman we see some mental breakdown, stuff like that, but I think we never in Batman the animated series or other Batman we see this kind of mental breakdown, especially that we see, like, I don't know, Powder is like, I don't know, 8 years old in the first 3 episodes, like I'm not sure, but it's just at least under 10, so it's like wow, like that's so heart-wrenching to watch. And of course the finale where, like, I just gotta say, the finale was straight up reference to Batman Death of the Family. You know, that's Scott Snyder when Batman is tormented by that leather-faced version of the Joker, and Batman wakes up to that really horrific dinner table, and then like Joker trolls Batman with showing him the faces that he cut off his Batman. Of course, it's turned out to be a troll, but still, it was kind of messed up. It's exactly the same thing in this scene when Jinx has Vi sit by the table, and Vi thinks that what Jinx wants to show is Kathleen's head or face. Then it's a troll, and Jinx says, "No, I'm not that crazy." So yeah, that's simple. Of course, like at the end when like it's just seen that Powder's, I don't know, maybe it's truly gone or something, and then she uses weapon basically to nuke the main council chambers. It's like, holy shit, that finale was so entertaining. And there are a couple other horror scenes, like mostly with Jinx. Like Jinx is Harley Quinn, like you said, basically, but like she has so many scenes where she's basically a slasher killer. Like that scene at the end of, I think, 8th episode when Caitlyn is in her bathroom, and then when she sees on the mirror the insignia of Jinx, and she's like, wait, what? And then final shot that we see at the end is Jinx standing in the corner, like, like actually like either a slasher killer or Riddler from the Batman when he's ready to hunt down his next victim. Like that was straight up horror movie scene. So yeah, that honestly I have to say there was a lot of scenes in this show that made me emotional with how they present this harsh world and these characters, these broken characters, because this show has a lot of broken characters and how they deal with trauma and this world, how they were given stuff like that. So yeah, that's my answer for that. Okay, next.
Yeah.
Next question.
Yeah. My question's a little boring compared to that. But I tried to think of it, but I have got a question for season 2. But anyway, my season 1 question is, out of like all the characters, which one do you think will ever? Of course, I know you still got season 2 to go, but like at the moment, which one do you think is your favorite?
Well, it's actually tough to say. Like main characters and like it's interesting how this show has couple of main characters, because like of course main characters are like always advertised and shown that is of course Vi and Jinx and Caitlyn, because she's also like a major part in the episode, but also two scientists, kinda Victor and Jace, I think that is called. They also are important because like the whole point of the show is also that these two guys from the Academy for Piltover, they made they basically weaponized, or like weaponized, but they like condensed the title Arcane, because Arcane in this universe, if I understand correctly, is basically the Force from Star Wars. That is basically like this natural force, magic force that sorcerers are using and stuff like that, but normal public don't have access to it, and it's kind of hard to control. And these two actually like weaponized, I mean, they condensed it to have its use for a teleportation device or stuff like that. And there's like a thing that they they want to convince it to weaponize and stuff like that. But that's kind of like interesting. But what I think about interesting characters, like I don't know, like there's a lot of interesting characters, and even from the main characters, like there's side characters like Vander, which was like Vi and Jinx's adoptive father before he tragically died. Rest in peace. He was freaking a goat. It was like Joel from The Last of Us, where he cared about sisters, these two sisters so much. And of course Silco, which he's basically Wilson Fisk from Netflix's Daredevil, that he's this ruthless, scary kingpin of the underworld, and yet he also has like layers to, like, of course he is terrifying, he is scary as hell, and he will cut you to pieces if you get in his way. But at the same time, he also has like this kind of honor code. He kind of understands the thing of being betrayed. He kind of wants to this nation, or like this he calls Nation of Zone, or that under City of Zone, to finally rise up and take their rightful place. So it's like this while Silco is, like I said, is terrifying. He's scary and stuff like that. But he also has like this a lot of layers to him, and it's like how also he treats Jinx. That I thought that he's gonna treat her like kind of like a henchman, but no, I think he actually treated her like his own daughter, in his own fucked up way, but still. So like I'm saying, what my favorite characters are, like hard to say, but I think my favorite is of course Vi or Jinx, but I think Kathleen as well, because those two characters are like freaking awesome, really awesome to watch. Like I wish that actually I want tiny complaint with season 1, that I thought that Vi and Jinx are gonna be even more here, but there's a lot of time dedicated to, I said, to other characters, mostly to those two scientists, but also Caitlyn in her investigation, stuff like that. So, but I don't know, I think I'm kind of obvious, but for now, Jinx and Vi, that are my favorite characters, but it's hard to choose. There's a lot of amazing characters in Arcane, so yeah, that's my answer. So bring on next question if you have them. If you have another question, so hit me up with that.
What do you think of the animation?
Oh shit! Okay, animation. Like, what? How am I supposed to describe it? It's freaking beautiful and amazing. Like, like, I thought Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and especially Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, were like peak of mainstream animation, because how many, especially in Across the Spider-Verse, how many visual style are incorporated in this single movie, how that showcases the multiverse, the insanity of the multiverse, and how other Spider-Man look differently, are animated differently than the other to convey that feeling. And going to the Arcane, I knew that it also had like Spider-Verse animation. It is one of those shows or movies that was influenced by Spider-Verse success, but what I wasn't prepared how incredibly and beautiful this show is gonna look. Like, generally, this show has so much color, so much detail to it. Like, especially the most impressive sequences for me, and I think there are basically psychosis that Jinx is at, because as we know, Jinx is really unstable mentally, and I think she's even more unstable than Harley Quinn, because she really a lot of times talks to herself. She sees the visions of friends that she accidentally killed, and she basically wants to shut down these voices in her head. And these psychosis moments are like showcased with this like kind of trippy animation that like is like jumping glitchy effect, and it's like it makes you uneasy watching her, because you feel that basically she's a freaking mess in her own head, but also that is kind of, you want to hug her, because you can imagine how it must feel to have these voices saying in your ears basically that you are a failure, you're a freak, you have nothing, it's all your fault. Like I'm sometimes struggle with these voices that saying me that I'm worthless and I'm doing not enough to have a good life. So I imagine that 10,000 followers, maybe that's why I rated that, and I found it that kind of relatable. But with the animation, like, it's very nicely showcased how she has this psychosis, stuff like that. But aside from that, of course, animation of movement, the action sequences, it's all so fluid, kinetic, like, it's like, I cannot describe how this beautiful looks. And let's not get to the fight scenes, because I think it should be separate argument, but fight scenes are just like animated. Like, I haven't seen this type of fluid animations. I think Across the Spider-Verse had similar level of fluid fight scenes, but I think this one could even surpass it, because it's even more fluid, and you can feel every punch, every hit, every speed, every dodge, stuff like that. Like, oh my god, like, animation, like, top tier. This animation top tier. I actually don't. I know what. I have no actually I know why now this season 2 took like, I don't know, 2 years to produce, because this type of animation is, I bet, is very hard to do. So like, if they wanted to make season 2 also looking as great as this, then I understand there's like 2 year or 3 year break. So yeah, animation is top tier. I freaking love it. So yeah, next question.
Yeah, it's amazing. I think I kind of prefer Blood and Spider-Verse, but yeah. So I literally just thought of this because I only had one question, so I don't know if this would be like an end question, but so you've watched season 2. You're gonna watch season 2. You've watched season 1, and you're gonna watch season 2 at some point. What do you think your predictions after that cliffhanger ending? What do you think your predictions for season 2 will be like? What do you think will happen? And then, like, yeah, what do you think will happen?
Well, like, definitely definitely like the ending definitely sets up that the war is now inevitable, because like the entire season 1, like, I mean, the second half of season 1 is focused that if the Piltover wants to go to war with National Zone or not, and it seems like at the end they finally struck that they want to do a peaceful solution, that even the Jace, I think, Jace Styles, I think he goes to Silco in order to make a deal with him. And like, I have to say, it is straight up Harvey Dent, because like, Jace is straight up Harvey Dent. When he becomes a council member, definitely he becomes Harvey Dent type of character, because he wants to rule out the corruption, and he even strikes the deal with this Kingpin guy. Like Harvey Dent also did some types of shady stuff in Long Halloween in order to keep the pieces and find who's truly responsible for those crimes, stuff like that. But yeah, but they finally struck the deal that they want to do a peaceful solution, and then Jinx, in her basically, because this is so tragic, because what Jinx did here is basically her lashing out at the world that she blames for everything, and she launches basically a nuke from her rocket launcher, basically that's powered by that hex tech that Jace and Victor were making. And like the final shot of this is rockets hitting the glass windows of the council chambers, and that's it. And it's like, oh my god, like I don't know if someone is gonna survive this. I mean, maybe Jace is gonna survive because he was important. I don't know. I don't believe they're gonna kill him off just between seasons. I hope Mel, that main councilwoman, survive, because at first I thought she's gonna be like a really bad woman, like she's gonna be this type of female character that basically seduces that good-hearted male character and twists their ideas. But no, she actually turns out to be great person. Even if everything, her mother was like very bad person, but no, I think the Mel was literally, she was actually pretty good character, and I hope she's not gonna die because she was but given she was on the way of the rocket, I don't know if she's gonna survive it. But definitely what this sets up is definitely that now that there's no going, like Jinx changed things forever. There's no going back. Like, definitely, there's no going back from this. Definitely, it's gonna be war. Definitely, it's gonna be aftermath of the season 2. Is gonna be aftermath from it, and definitely it's gonna be like, Piltover is gonna be like mobilized, and maybe Hexa is gonna be weaponized for this, and maybe and I think Vi, I don't know, maybe Vi at this point have lost faith that Powder is still inside of Nicole. Maybe she's gonna try one last attempt to save her before she ultimately decides that Powder is truly gone and fights her. Like maybe like the scene with in Star Wars Rebels when Ahsoka tries to speak to Anakin in Darth Vader, but she realizes that Anakin is too far gone, so she decides to avenge his death. So I don't know, maybe it's gonna be like that, but honestly, I have no idea what's gonna happen in season 2 after that cliffhanger. Whatever happens, I definitely know it's gonna be darker than season 1, because how Jinx, the one act by Jinx at the end, really, I think, will shake up this world, and what the situation basically was in that political climate there. So yeah, I have no idea what happened in season 2. Those are like couple of things that I think are gonna happen, but whatever happens, I think it's gonna be darker than season 1. And again, I will watch season 2, I think even today after we finish this video, I will start watching season 2, so everyone in the comments, please, no spoilers for season 2, but yeah, that's what my predictions for, as a person who didn't watch a single clip for season 2, no trailer. So yeah, so that's my prediction for season 2. So yeah, that's it.
Yeah. I have a question. What do you think of the music?
Okay, the music. Yeah, like I said, like I say with animation, like I honestly, I could say every aspect of this show, from the writing to the characters to the animation, it's like perfect, top tier, and high quality. But yeah, the music also amazing. Like the music is I thought it's gonna give me Spider-Verse vibes, but no, it actually gives me vibes, a little bit of Spider-Verse vibes, but also gives me sometimes Batman, sometimes kind of action-ish thing. And I think this the music really builds atmosphere, really builds tension, or like given scene when the music shows up, it gives you context what you're supposed to feel, and it really complements the story. And not to mention, there's a lot of vocal themes. Like, of course, the main vocal theme for this Arcane is Enemy by Imagine Dragons, that plays in the opening of every episode, and in episode 5, I think, when Vi is walking to Sevika in order to get information out of her. The Imagine Dragons themselves actually make a cameo as their animated counterparts, and they sing this song. But also there's a lot of like vocal themes that describe the theme of the episode, or given some, like, for example, first episode is called Welcome to the Playground, and then the moment when Vi, Powder, and and two of their friends return back to Undercity, and we see this first time the song "Welcome to the Playground" plays, which actually has this really uneasy, really like creepy vibe, which it kind of sounds like Billie Eilish songs, but it also has like this electronic vibe to it, and it's kind of interesting. And of course, in episode 3, that song at the end, I think it's called "Goodbye" or something like that. I'm not sure how it's called, but that song is like say goodbye, something that is so depressing, and with context of the episode, is so heart-wrenching and so sad. And at the end, the song that has lyrics, "The monster that you created," that fits the like this desperation and that ending, shocking ending cliffhanger. So yeah, it's like in Alan Wake 2 game, there's also like a lot of vocal themes at the end of each chapter, basically, that they tell the story, like they condense the story of this chapter or what character feels at a given moment. So this soundtrack and these vocal themes really help this show to an emotional aspect of this show to really excel in that. So yeah, music is freaking fantastic. I have to buy soundtrack for it because it's so good. Oh my god. So yeah, I love the music just like everything about this show. So yeah, you have any more questions, or we going back to like regular talking about this show? So you got any more questions or not?
Well, I don't have any more. I think I've answered. You've answered all mine. What about you, Mr. DC?
No.
Okay, so
Okay.
yes, okay. So since I answered all the questions, I think that I should ask you what you guys like, which episode and what things that you like the most about this show, because I think that's what's interesting also about your thoughts about Arcane. What do you think about that?
Well, I like the emotional weight of the show. Like, you know, like
Yeah.
I love the animation, the writing, the characters. I feel like they handle it perfectly.
Yeah. Yeah. I like everything as well. It's one of the. I think I'd say one of. I think it might be one of the best. Might be the best show out there. And yeah, it's all amazing. They write the characters so well. The animation's gorgeous. The fight scenes, the animation makes them pop with different things. The music adds to it as well. I listen to the soundtrack on Spotify all the time. And yeah, it's just a perfect show. And like nowadays, I don't think you get that much. I know there's lots of amazing shows, but now, like, yeah, there's nothing like that's like, sure, there's a great shows, but none of them's like perfect. And I might be me just being over indulgent, but like, yeah, I think it's perfect. And yeah, I'll probably like it for the rest of my life.
Yeah, same here. And I have to say about a couple aspects of this show that I was kind of aware of this, but when I watched the show, I was so surprised. I think first, like, what also makes these characters amazing is amazing voice cast, because seriously, like, when you look at the voice cast here, holy shit, there's so many great VAs. Of course, main characters. Jinx is voiced by Ella Prunell, and she played a main girl in Fallout, and she just sounds like Harley Quinn, and she really should voice her or play her in live action this year. Please, James Gunn, cast her as Harley Quinn, because she is perfect. She played in live action. She has great Harley Quinn voice. She should be in. Harley Steinfeld voices Vi. I read V, and then I also saw Vi because her full name is Violet, because that's the interesting twist that why this main character is called Vi, and now because her full name is Violet. Harley Steinfeld, of course, I know her most from Spider-Verse movies because she voiced Spider-Gwen. And it's shocking that while the voice is similar, she sounds nothing like Spider-Gwen. Like Spider-Gwen is more optimistic in her voice, while Vi has like this kind of like this voice, kind of like this more quieter, more like calm and more like focused all the time, kind of like Batman voice when you think about it. So yeah, like Haley Steinfeld is amazing as Vi, and like also in live action she recently was in Sinners, and she was also great there and two side characters. Like, I was surprised that, for example, two of Vi and Powder's childhood friends, Clagor and Milo, were played by actors I know. Like, Clagor was played by Roger Craig Smith, aka voice of Sonic the Hedgehog and voice of Batman in Arkham Origins. Like honestly, Roger Craig Smith is underrated as Batman. Like, I genuinely have to say that he's very.
You see Superman Red Sun movie.
Yeah.
Roger Craig Smith played Batman in that as well.
Yeah, he played that Soviet version of Batman. Milo is voiced by Yuri Lowenthal, which of course he's known for the voice of Ben Tennyson from Ben 10, Alien Force and Ultimate Alien, but also voice of Insomniac's Peter Parker. So it's like, wow, and
that's.
Yeah, it's kind of insane that those two characters that die at the end of third episode have these high profile reveals. And of course, the biggest shock two biggest shock I have. There are two characters here. Of course, there are Vander and Silco, and both of them are voiced by VAs I wasn't expected. Like, Vander is voiced by G.B. Blanc, I think his name, and that actor voiced a lot of characters. He voiced, for example, Bane in Arkham Origins and in Batman Telltale series. He was Alfred Pennyworth in Beware the Batman, and he voiced Kano in Mortal Kombat 11, which actually I was playing through Mortal Kombat 11 when I started watching Arcane, and when I heard him, I thought, no way, is that freaking Kano? And I searched up, and I thought, and I saw it, and I said, holy shit, that is voice of Kano, and it's like, holy crap. And Silco is voiced by Jason Spisak, who of course voiced the Kid Flash in Young Justice and Joker in Batman Hush animated movie. And, like, dude, Jason Spisak is like freaking insane that when you hear his voice as Wally West and now Silco, which is just kind of like this calm and creepy voice, it's like, wow, like and there are a couple many other VAs in this show that made this. Like, they made these characters work because their voice work, their dialogues between them, it's like I could not describe how VAs made these characters work and how they are perfectly casted. Like, that's really hard to combine, especially that I don't know if the characters in League of Legends have voice lines. I don't know if that voice game is mute entirely, and if character has a voice, it's only grunts or like victory line, stuff like that. But like, I don't know if these characters didn't have a voice, it's kind of like hard to imagine them. But these voices could be definitive versions of these characters, just like, for example, Kevin Conroy is definitive voice of Batman, or Mark Hamill is definitive voice of the Joker. So, yeah, that's like I have to think I have to say about this show that really surprised me. Just how many awesome VAs they got in this show. I have to say that.
Yeah, I think I've never played League of Legends, but like there is like apparently a definitive voice for characters. I know like the Jinx VA, she always voices Jinx, and like I think she's like in the 2XKO game that's coming out, she's also voicing her there. So yeah, like there is like they do have voice actors, but yeah, their Arcane counterparts are like way better. And like yeah, the amount of like known people they've managed to get in, like they got Spider-Man and like Alfred technically from Beware the Batman, which I love because that's where I recognise the voice from. But yeah, it's just like they've got so much talent there and stuff like that, and yeah, it just elevates the show so much. And yeah, it's just like yeah, because like with Haley Steinfeld, she voices Vi, but she also voices Gwen, and like I can tell the difference. Like you said, Vi has like a deeper Batman-like voice and stuff like that. So like yeah, it really goes to show the range of the actors and stuff. And yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think we should talk about one thing that like the title of this video is that Arcane for me is the best Batman show that is not actually about Batman. People were gonna be saying, but no, honestly, this show, Arcane League of Legends, is straight up Batman show. But of course, without Batman, without his characters, without his, but it's basically the same. Like, let's go through the characters, for example. Like, let's take a look at first Vi and Caitlyn. Both of those two women are basically two halves of Batman, because Vi is more brutal, badass, and about fighting part of Batman, while Caitlyn is more like detective and more like intelligence side of Batman. And like, if you would combine Vi and Caitlyn, you'll get Batman, because those two actually are like two halves of Batman. And when you think about it, I already mentioned that Jace was basically Harvey Dent, with him with being a young man who became a council member, and he wants to root out the corruption and stuff like that, and he's kind of horrified what is happening here, and he makes deal with the devil basically. I thought to myself, oh boy, he should watch out for his face, because these types of people have a tendency to be scarred on the one side of their faces. So yeah. And of course, we said that Jinx is basically Harley Quinn, but I think she's even more deserved than Harley Quinn in terms of her mental illness and stuff like that. Silco, I said, okay, Silco, maybe he could be counterpart to Black Mask, but I see more of Wilson Fisk from Netflix's Daredevil in him than any Batman the type of character. But the world itself, it's straight up how it's presented, how it's showcased. It's straight up Gotham City, like it was shown in the Penguin show or the Batman Matt Reeves. Like, because we have
Zon. I've seen a comment on Reddit. People call Zon a steampunk Gotham City.
Yeah, I think they're probably right. Yeah, especially that. Like,
I agree.
Yeah, because in the Penguin show, for example, we see that the Gotham in Matt Reeves' universe is split into like two basically cities that are connected by the bridge. We have the more richer side that is doing well, stuff like that, and we have Crown Point, which is like that universe version of Park Row, which is decaying, which is full of crime, which is full of homeless people and drug lords and crime rules the streets, stuff like that. So like I said, Piltover and Zone are basically straight up the same cities, or like the same city that Gotham is. And not to mention, a lot of sequences, a lot of things really remind me of Batman. There's that scene. There's that scene when Vi and Caitlyn go to that one spot, I think it was kind of strip club, something like that, and when Vi knocks on the door, and we see perspective from that person opens that thing in the door that can see only the eyes of people. I was expecting Vi to say, "Do you know who I am?" or something like what Batman did in Matt Reeves' The Batman when he went to Iceberg Lounge to interrogate the Penguin. So it's like this show has so many vibes of Batman, and I already said that final confrontation in season 1 with Jinx kidnapping Vi, Caitlyn, and Silco and putting them into that screwed up dinner table. That's straight up reference to Scott Snyder's Death of the Family finale. So it's like
I just need to make a quick announcement here, guys. Hedgehog's going to be doing some DC and Arcane crossover fanfics, so there's that to look forward to.
Oh yeah, they're gonna do it, but so like I said, there's a lot of Batman DNA in this show, and maybe it's my brain, because I was obsessed with Batman as a kid. To be fair, I still am. Look at my channel for most of my videos, but because of that, my brain is wired in that way that I automatically connecting a lot of stuff to Batman. But no, I genuinely think Arcane accidentally became a Batman show that is not a Batman show, and I freaking adore it. Like. That's my take, at least.
Yeah, it is, because like with your fanfic, but also mine is like, what if like Vi, Jinx, and all, I think even Caitlyn as well, like if their story took place in the DC universe, like they're always there, like it was just part of the thing. And the reason I did that is because like that zone is basically Gotham and stuff like that. And like you said with your fanfic, yeah, it fits so well. But yeah, it's like, yeah, I see. Like, I've never actually properly said that it's like a Batman show about Batman, but now you've said that, I do really see it fully, and that's probably like maybe part of the reason why why all of us like it so much, because it's got Batman's roots without him being there and stuff like that. So yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so
Yep.
yeah, so yeah, like I said, like maybe because it was a Batman show, and definitely that I got like, but also like I have to admit, like this show, like my friends here say that this is the best animated show ever made, and even top betas. And yeah, I think when you ask me, I'm maybe, you know, I'm kind of like some cynics can say that, oh, saying that this is the best show ever made, and yeah, I'm saying that because I'm judging the shows how much they affected me. There's a lot of shows I watched growing up, or like even now, that they affected me a lot and made me remember, like I don't know, the couple of things like Kim Possible, Samurai Jack, Squid Game, Batman the Animated Series, the new Batman Adventures, Justice League Unlimited, Batman Beyond. There's a lot of animated shows I grew up watching, and even I grew up watching. Sometimes I watch the show that I watched a little bit when I was younger. For example, with Samurai Jack, I watched a little bit of Samurai Jack when I was younger, and then I returned it when I was older, and I rediscovered the absolute gem of animation. But I still consider Batman the Animated Series and the new Batman Adventures, because honestly, I consider the new Batman Adventures as another season of Batman the Animated Series, just with new animation style I was in Super and Animated Series. But it was always in either that or the Batman 2004. These two shows are so important. I still love them today. I need to rewatch betas in near future, but Arcane just comes along and it just shoots past betas simply because how good it is in terms of everything, but how it affected me. Like generally, after season 1 finale, I generally couldn't sleep. Literally, I generally couldn't sleep because that finale and overall that entire emotional stake really took a hold on me. I know art is subjective, and the feelings that we get watching art is subjective, but I am an emotional person, honestly, and watching after season 1 finale, I generally couldn't sleep, and I stayed up, I think, half of night because, wow, that really affected me, to the point that when I wrote the one fanfiction that, thank you for Mr. Zigan for promoting me, when Batman is stabbed in his right side, next day I wake up and in that same place my body hurts. So it's like, is phantom pain for the writers and emotional people is the thing? Because that's straight up phantom pain or something like that. But yeah, like, maybe, I don't know, maybe it's a coincidence, maybe it's just my imagination. I'm kind of sounding like Jinx now with saying this weird stuff. But generally, I think this show really affected me emotionally, and that's freaking good because art should affect you, should make you feel stuff like that. And Arcane, I think, is straight up this type of show that really will stuck with me for a long time, because, already stuck with me, and now it's gonna stuck for a long time, especially I also have one more season to go, so... Yeah, definitely this Arcane shoot to the top of my favorite shows of all time, simply because how great it is, how amazing it is, how emotionally affected me. So yeah, that's a really important thing, I think.
So, is Arcane your favorite anime show of all time then?
I would say, yeah, definitely, I would say this is the best animated show I've seen. I mean, I haven't seen season 2, but I don't believe, because I heard that people say that it's kind of weak compared to the first one, and I don't believe it. I think even if they're gonna be not as good season, at least I feel it's still gonna be high quality and not gonna destroy, and not gonna took away what I feel about first season. But it's crazy to me. I have to say one thing. The crazy to me thing is that after this show is so well written, so amazingly shown, so amazingly animated, and then when you check out the game is nothing like it. The game is nothing like it. I never watched a gameplay of League of Legends, so out of curiosity, I checked out, like, I don't know, 10 minutes of gameplay. And it's straight up nothing like that, right? From the show that you won't be like mistaken when you think that so the game is like this type of brawler type game or hack and slash game that you pick up the character and you basically go through a wave of enemies and then you fight the bosses, or for example other players, or League of Legends is basically Mortal Kombat game that there are two characters on the top on the two opposite sides and basically beat each other until one of them is defeated. But no, the game is like over top perspective strategy game, and it's like it's kind of funny that the first comment I've seen in that game is when you go that basically was disappointed that when you watch Arcane and you go this and you expect something more and crying emoji like like that's freaking funny that this animation was basically adaptation of the game, but it has nothing to do kind of again aside from the characters and the names of location. It could have been totally original, new separate thing, and when people want to check out the game is nothing like the show, so it's kind of ironic. This is something.
Yeah.
This is kind of something like what Jinx would do instead of think what she is doing. And if that was a troll by Jinx, then congratulations to her. She trolled us again, but yeah, that's straight up in character, I think. But yeah, that's kind of interesting thing what I noticed.
Yeah. The game there is an actual another League of Legends game coming out. Like a fighting game called 2XKO, and like you get to play as it's like a Mortal Kombat type thing. But yeah, like I'm like I might play that one because it's like free and stuff. But League of Legends itself, yeah, it's so far from the type of game I play. I yeah, I respect that it's managed to grow a large fan base, but it's just not like the type of game I play, and like I probably would never pick it up. But yeah, it makes it even more impressive that they managed to turn Arcane into that from the source material, which is all around pretty bad. But yeah, it just shows how good the writing team was to turn rubbish into gold. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So like I said, like when you said that it's gonna be a fighting game that is actually like Mortal Kombat or Injustice or Smash Bros, I really need to buy it now when it comes out and to play it, because when you say that there's actually a fighting game and with Arcane characters, okay, that has a potential. But I don't think Arcane really needs other games like League of Legends could do spin-offs that, like I said, they could be hack and slash game like God of War that when you play as Vi, or maybe Arkham style open world. Oh my god, imagine Arkham City like experience, but with Vi, that you travel zone is basically Arkham City. That is like a fenced off area that you can explore, you can do side quests and stuff like that, meet the characters, stuff like that, and maybe some will be bosses, including Jinx and stuff like that. So no, I mean, I would love to see Arkham style Arcane game, but I don't know if that's ever gonna happen. But oh well.
Yeah, it might. We never know. In the entire world, it might happen. I mean, it's still popular or something, but like, yeah. But yeah, like it's just like another thing. I think, like, of course, I don't really know much about the game, but apparently after Arcane, because it was so successful, that they're apparently molding the game's lore to fit around Arcane. So originally, Arcane was like a side universe where it didn't like all the lore was like it didn't match with the game. Then it was going to be its own thing. But after the success of it, apparently they're like weaving it into it's going to be the new canon of sorts. Which, yeah, it goes to show that I think they're going to try and keep some stuff because like the game's over a decade old, I think. So that's a lot of history to get rid of. But yeah, they're going to mold it into a new canon. Which I like, and yeah, the games are a lot different, and that 2XKO thing, it is like it's still a League of Legends game, but it's got like Jinx and Echo and Vi, I think, as well. So yeah, I'm probably gonna get that actually.
Wow. So that's it. That's just that the show was supposed to be not canon, or it's like side universe, and then there was so successful that was molding into the main continuity of League of Legends game. Like, wow. Like, it's only like that is the point that's only goes to like. There's a lot of examples that when something is popular for this type, is integrated the main universe. For example, Harley Quinn was only in Batman Dynasties, but it was molded in. But she was so popular that she was integrated to main DC universe. Same with that more darker story for Mr. Freeze and stuff like that. So yeah, these types of things happen. It's kind of always interesting thing to see. And I got the Arcane doing this because it really freaking deserves it. So yeah, I think that's all I got to say for season 1, because like I said, I think I think after season 2 I'm gonna have even more. You're gonna have even more questions for me. You're gonna have even more I'm gonna have even more things to say, and I'm gonna have more ideas for crossover fan fiction with Batman. Like, people stick around for my Wattpad. Maybe I'll upload it there, and maybe I'm gonna do audio drama of it when that's
We're
why.
gonna make a Dark Knight's Metal. We need to make a Dark Knight's Metal X Arcane fanfic.
Oh, that will be
Yeah,
that'll be badass. That will be awesome to see. But, so
that'd be
yeah,
amazing.
like if anyone wants to write fanfics with me, I'm available. I'll happily co-write something with people like that. But yeah, but like I said, maybe I'm gonna do audio drama with Batman / Arcane. Maybe that will be the way I'm gonna go, but we'll see. First I have to finish, and then I could make basically a connective tissue that's gonna hold these old scenes that I wrote, because so far I'm only writing scenes when Batman interacting with Arcane characters, and he's always been there, and he always was like the Zone and Pillover was just like river across Gotham. Like that's my mentality when I'm writing fanfics. And that Batman My Stories is basically Batman from Arkham Origins, that he already fought the assassins, already stopped Blackgate's riots, and he's slowly getting into the point of Arkham Shadow when he gets Dick Grayson's Robin. So that's what my Batman I'm choosing. So and that's why, and because of that, Roger Craig Smith would have more to do in Arcane, because he would voice Batman in Arcane. So that would be pretty awesome. But
Yeah.
So that's my idea for
I wish
fanfiction.
I do. I wish if we could, if only we could get Kevin Conroy. If only Kevin Conroy. But unfortunately we can't.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
It's-
it will be. Yeah, it's sad. It's really sad that we lost them, but that's how life is. I'm like, it's still open wound. I'm not gonna lie. We miss Kevin Conroy so much, but thankfully other Batman voice actors are also still here, like Troy Baker or Roger Craig Smith, and like even some other new VAs are popping up for him. So the legacy of Kevin Conroy will never be gone, and I think he gave a new generation of actors opportunity to voice Batman. So. But it will be cool. Not gonna lie, it will be cool if Kevin Conroy would have like a cameo in Arcane season. I mean, he was alive when Arcane season 1 came out, so that would be really fun if he was like maybe side character that he was voicing. Because, for example, like he already did such a thing, because in Netflix's He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, he was one of side characters in that show. So he's not strange to do other voices than Batman in those other shows as a cameo or as like other. So yeah, that will be pretty cool, not gonna lie. But oh well, it is what it is.
Yeah, but yeah, it's given like Arkham Origins, which Craig Smith, yeah, I think the Arkham Origins Batman voice, should be like the new definitive Batman. Of course, like it's never going to be the definitive Batman because Kevin Conroy was at the best, and he's always going to be that. But yeah, if I had to choose who would be the definitive Batman voice, I think it'd be the Arkham Origins, Roger Craig Smith. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, but like I said, I have to say that that like the Arcane just should top of my list of the best animated shows I've ever seen. It's gonna be like top 1, like first place on my top 10, and then top 2 will be like second place will be still Batman the Animated Series and the New Batman Adventures. Well, the balance 2004 depends on my day. And in terms of video game adaptations, this straight up rivals Sonic the Hedgehog 3, and I think it even surpasses Sonic the Hedgehog 3, because Sonic the Hedgehog 3 is totally different beast, totally different thing, and I was still adore Sonic the Hedgehog 3. I cannot describe how great adaptation Arcane is, simply because, like I said, like we already said, it could have been just an original thing, and I think that's the main point, because adaptations of video games had that problem when they're like trying to adapt the source material so much, but they are kind of either doing too much of the adaptation, like copy and paste, or they are just doing completely different things. Sonic movies and now Arcane found this perfect balance of doing something that is based on a video game, but also doing it like a new unique take on it, while also taking it seriously and taking it to a serious direction, having actually solid writing. Like with Arcane is fantastic, and with Sonic is of course solid writing. I'm not saying it's like a masterpiece of writing, but it is very good writing, I would say. And yeah, so if someone's gonna ask me what my favorite, what the best show I've ever watched is, I'm gonna say Arcane. If somebody's gonna ask me what the best video game adaptations are, I'm gonna say Sonic 3 and Arcane. So yeah, so that's it. I'm totally converted into Arcane fan. So thank you both of you for converting me into being an Arcane fan. And you may have created a monster, but only time will tell.
That's fine.
Yeah,
It's nice that we have inducted you into the fandom.
yeah,
You
exactly.
became one of us. We turned you into one of us.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, so I think that's all that I had to say with Arcane season. I freaking loved it. I thought I would not able to describe how much I loved Arcane, but I think I did a decent job with it. So onward with season 2, and when season 2 finishes, I'm also gonna do the same type of podcast with two friends here, and they're gonna ask me more of the questions, and we're gonna do a full summary of this entire show and what may the future hold for this, because despite Arcane's ending with season 2, which is not fair, why the good shows, like amazing shows like Arcane have only 2 seasons, while crap like Big Mouth have like 8 seasons? What? So it's like,
if you see negative reviews for Arcane season 2,
no, I haven't
ignore
watched
them.
I haven't watched.
Yeah,
I haven't watched them, and I won't spoil
Arcane
myself.
season 2
with them.
is only negatively received because people don't know quality. So ignore
Yeah,
any bad reviews.
The
Yeah,
amount of like I'm not, because since I watch Arcane all the time, I get especially when it first came out, I kept getting my videos recommended. That was my
yeah. So yeah, but I'm gonna avoid those reviews, because not only I'm not gonna spoil myself, but also I kind of passed the point with listening to people online. If there's something I want to watch, I will gonna watch it and make up on my own mind. And I'm trying not these sometimes toxic or sometimes negative things affect my perception of the source material or the material I'm watching. Sometimes it's hard, but at the end of the day, trying to distance myself from that, and doing my own reviews. I'm doing my own reviews like from myself or with you guys. So definitely I'm hyped for season 2. I'm definitely know it's gonna be at least the same type of peak that was in season 1. And like I cannot wait for the future season, because like I said, I'm sad that Arcane only has 2 seasons, but I heard there's gonna be spin-offs of it, so we're gonna talk about what spin-offs they're gonna do and stuff like that. Because then if they're gonna do spin-offs, they're gonna either do prequels, or they're gonna follow up on ending of season 2. So we'll see. What I'm gonna have to watch what ending of season 2 is. Please not spoil it for me. Not you or people in the comments. Not spoil how this show is ending. I bet it's not gonna be a happy ending. But if
There'll be no spoilers.
yeah, okay, but I bet if it's gonna that ending will be like either definitive or leaving some things. Something else. That's like, for example, this season also has some things, and like Victor trying to use a hex core in order to cure himself, but he accidentally killed that one girl, and he wants Jace to destroy it, and we kinda don't follow up on it. So clearly it's a subplot that's gonna be resolved in season 2. Yeah, so yeah, there's a lot of stuff for I'm looking forward for season 2, and I cannot wait to watch this and write more Batman Batman / Arcane fan fictions. So yeah, so
it's gonna be great.
yeah, so that's it. So you want to add something, or we're finishing the
I think we've talked about it all. I'll leave you. Just ignore all the stuff they say. Arcane season 2 is just as good as the first one, and thanks for having me on your podcast again.
Yeah, so
This is something I was trying to do for months. Hedgehog Nerd is now one of us Arcane fans. We turned him into it.
Yep, exactly. So yeah, and I thank you guys for 2 things. One, that you got me into Arcane and you introduced me to absolutely amazing show that I won't forget for a long time, or maybe ever. And that you did again podcast with me, and I can't wait to return here when we talk about season 2 of Arcane League of Legends. So that's it. So like, comment, and subscribe to me, to Mr. DC Gaming and Batarang TV. And watch Arcane. It's freaking masterpiece. You should freaking watch it. And see you guys next time. Bye.
Yeah. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.